Yo, what's going on? I know y'all probably can't see me right now, but that's fine. It's not important. I have a much more important message to deliver. So I guess, just listen to the voice. I want to talk about being anthropomorphic. Okay? I want to talk about being anthropomorphic. In ancient times, thousands of years ago, what you back then, or what you call today, black people, they were considered anthropomorphic. Okay, that's another way of saying immortal. Now, you had the immortals and you had the mortals. The mortals were Caucasians. Okay, the immortals were the niggas or black people today or whatever. But like I said before, we got to be careful with the word black, because when you're talking about the word black, when you're talking about people, or you got to think about the etymology of the word black. Okay, the etymology of the word black. So we got to really be careful when we talk about the word black. But that's a whole nother video about the etymology of the word black. But anyway, being anthropomorphic was another way of saying being immortal. Okay, being anthropomorphic is basically having a dual figure, a Luciferian entity or intellect inside of your body. So that basically means that well, I guess you could say, if you study up on a lot of mythologies, like ancient Egyptian mythologies, let's start with that. Yeah, a lot of different mythologies and astrologies and stuff, they use animals. Those animals are symbolic. Okay. So when you look at some of the Egyptian gods and goddesses with the animal heads, that was an anthropomorphic being, which means he was an androgynous, or she was an androgynous being. Okay, which means that person or the entity at that time was operating on a higher level inside the pineal gland. Okay, because when you get to the pineal gland, you got a whole nother body inside the pineal gland. It's a whole nother body. Okay, but that's a totally different lecture. And that body is supposedly it's like many more chakras. So so those different animal heads represent anthropomorphism, or being anthropomorphic. Okay, and that is your subconscious. Okay, that's the Godhead. All right. Now, when you practice your Neptunian science, men or women, when you practice your Neptunian science, you awaken a different entity inside your body, which is it's a very powerful current. Okay, that you got to deal with, and you got to learn how to control it. Once you learn how to control it, you can change things from the inside out. Okay, that's what the whole grimoire is about. That's what grimoire is all about. Okay. So that's the whole point of reaching no self. Well, sorry guys. Just got off work a couple hours ago, so I'm just chilling. Let me get back on point. So being knowing about anthropomorphism you can sort of learn about the Luciferian energy, because it's the same thing. Okay, now let's take this to the aspect of physics. When you look at physics, and when you looking at the electromagnetic wave or electromagnetic force field, and then, well, fuck all that. You could just look up Blackbody Radiation. Okay, I'm not even going to try to break shit down. Just look up Blackbody Radiation. Okay, so in the laws of physics, Blackbody radiation it's a idealized physical body. Okay. Now, when I first started the video, I was talking about being anthropomorphic. Okay, so I want to kind of just you guys to stay on task. All right. Blackbody radiation in the laws of physics is an idealized physical body. Okay. In infrared, blackbody radiation, when you see in the infrared, it's called blackbody radiation. It is pure energy. It is pure light burning inside of you. Now, well, what does that mean for the outside? Like, how does that, okay. On the outside, in the laws of physics, you have the opposing surface, which is the white body. Now, this is laws of physics. The white body is a reflection or imitation of the blackbody radiation. Okay? I'm gonna let that sink in for a second. You got to remember, when you first started off, most of us probably started off as Christians. Like I told you before, I was raised a Methodist, okay? And I was one of those growing up in a Christian home where you got your ass whooped. All right? Now, I'm not going to go no further, and I'm just saying you got your motherfucking ass whooped if you ain't do what you were supposed to do in that church or whatever the fuck it was. Now just follow me, because this is some real shit. Most of us started off as being Christian, or most of us started off, some other, like you said, we all come from all walks of life. All right. Now, there were a small bunch of us that was actually searching for something else. Some of us went to being Muslim. Then some of us went to being atheists, and some of us went to being a Hebrew, like myself and a couple more of my guys I know personally. Some of us went to being Hebrew. Okay, so that, I guess you could say, that kind of led us into the whole Afrocentric thing, about learning about the Moors, learning about the Olmecs, just learning about Lemuria and you know, the ancient Egyptians and the Mesopotamians, all this black Kemetic science. Okay. So that is where that's where a lot of people hit a brick wall. But some of us pierce through that. Now, I'm trying to get a point to a point. Some of us pierce through that brick wall. And that some of us has something ancient in you. There's something ancient that see through that brick wall. That you know the energy behind, the source behind all that. Okay, that's what Gnosticism is. It teaches you that the Bible is symbolic to the human body. Now, when you're dealing with being anthropomorphic, when you're dealing with the Blackbody Radiation, that is the Christ energy. That is your burning bush. That is your consciousness. Okay? Now, I think that's, I'm sorry if you guys heard that. I should have turned that down. But anyway, so like I said before, being the microcosm of the macrocosm, okay? Now we got to talk about being star seeds. Now, if we have that Christ energy or the feminine energy, okay, because you got to understand Osiris, a lot of people don't know Osiris. Now, I'm not just saying this because of what other lecturers had to say. I'm saying this from my own information. You know, a lot of male deities, a lot of people don't know, especially a lot of Afrocentric people, they don't understand that a lot of male deities were dealing with the feminine energy. That's why Osiris, a lot of people don't know that Osiris was worshipped as a goddess because he was dealing with the feminine energy. It's symbolic. That don't mean he was gay. That don't mean he was maybe doing up, you know, and who knows, but we're talking about energy here. You see what I'm saying? And we got to learn how to harness. We got to learn how to manipulate. That's what the whole golden age was. The Zep Tepi. All right, because I want to talk about Erebus as well. And where I get Erebus from. And where I get Erebus, Zep Tepi, like, I want to talk about that, but that's a whole nother lecture. All right, I just wanted to just browse on the whole being anthropomorphic and Blackbody Radiation. All right, because those are two very important topics, and it's important because that energy is inside of us. For example, I don't eat. I'm not saying that I don't eat at all, but I'm learning how to control certain things in my body. That's my point about gaining consciousness. Okay? We got to start utilizing this energy the right way. I have no desire. I don't desire much because I've let go of so many things in order for me to rise to another level. Because I learned that when you eat, you dimmy that light inside of you. That was a whole trap. Now you must eat, but you only need to eat for the energy that your body needs at that time. You got to remember, when you're dealing with gnosis, everything down here is designed in this demiurge to keep you here, because there is a God that resides over this, or an entity that resides over this, that loves the physical. And he is in people. He works through people. He works through the government. He works through children. He works through your desires. He works through your ego. He works through your wants, your greed. And at the same time, dimming your energy, dimming your light to feed more of that desire, to feed more of that just hunger for ignorance. Okay? I don't consume much. I don't want much. I don't really want nothing at all. My expectations of life is really, I don't give my energy to really wanting or desiring. And I'm telling you, a lot of people who know this, once you get to that level, you still have enemies, because I don't give a damn where you are in this consciousness. When you gain to a certain consciousness, you still see other forms of enemies. Okay, because you're still here in the physical. But you must gain as much consciousness as you can. I always say that. Because I look at, this is my gnosis now. This is what my thoth, or my thoughts, that the body, that this physical, that's trapping your free will, your soul, your consciousness, is a weight, is a resistance. And once it is free, or once it goes through the metamorphosis, it will be more powerful than ever. That's why you have to do this work. You got to become conscious. You got to become super conscious. And you got to become fucking chaos conscious. Where you can goddamn manifest anything you want with your fucking pineal gland. You can goddamn fucking use instant fucking transmission to fucking travel all over the goddamn world without using airplanes. Your motherfucking body is your fucking airplane. Your body is your fucking spacesuit. That's what the Christ energy is. That's what that is.